This is the show your college professor warned you about. Prepare to be triggered. You're listening to The Patriarchy with Ian Sal.
What's going on, guys? Episode 24 of The Patriarchy Show. Just want to let you know the patriarchy hurts everyone.
It does.
We're hurting people. We're injuring people.
I can't believe it. Sticks and stones, but I guess words will give you anal prolapse.
Yeah, man. And we had some good stuff planned tonight, but I think so with the recent events of today, I think we'll get into the shooting, the terrorist attack in Fort Lauderdale in the airport. We have a guest a little bit later. You want to talk about him?
Yeah, Kaiter Enless is going to be joining us. He has a podcast here, EPL Podcast on New Media Central. He also is a contributor, has written numerous articles for us. He's only been with us for, about a month?
And he's kicking ass.
Yeah, he's kicking ass, taking names. He's done interviews for his EPL podcast with names like Jared Taylor, Dr. McDonald, a couple other names I can't remember right now. But yeah, no, he's doing a great job. He's a futurist, professional writer. He has a degree in graphic design, I think, from Pittsburgh Art Insitute, which a friend of mine went there, and I noted very expensive college.
He has
very expensive. And he has a degree from Art Insitute of Pittsburgh. And one of my
funny. Okay, he went to an expensive school.
Very expensive. And he has my friend got a master's degree in something. I think video game, something to do with video games. And he's doing his site, and he's chugging along. But it's really, even with a master's in what he has, he says hard for him to do anything. And he's just been trying different startups with different people that he's met around the interwebs.
Just don't tell him he looks like Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction. He doesn't like that.
Kaiter? Yeah, he doesn't like being saying he's Dave Navarro. I guess maybe it's the HEP. Doesn't like being associated with HEP.
I was just going based on looks. I didn't know that he was like a friggin', STD ridden scumbag.
Wait, Kaiter or Dave Navarro?
Dave Navarro. Kaiter I like. Kaiter's awesome.
I'm about to say, we love Kaiter. Kaiter's good people. How dare you, Sal? No. Great, he's doing a great job for us. And then tonight we're gonna get an email. Yeah, no, thank you. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
I'm gonna go to The Patriarchy Hurts Everyone.
The Patriarchy hurts everyone. So big news: Russia hacked the election so much that not only is Donald Trump president, he's president for life. So I don't know what to do, Sal.
I mean, I guess we just have to get used to it. I
guess.
We have to worry about the ongoing battle now between left and right and alt-right, cuck versus left, cuck versus right.
I'm so confused. Neoliberal versus neocon. So many labels. Yeah, libertarians. What we just said before, Gary Johnson libertarians versus Ron Paul libertarians.
Yeah, and then you got the minarchists and the voluntarists and the
anarcho-capitalists versus anarcho-communists.
The Nazis and the and the
Antifa and the communists. I just want to punch myself.
So
I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's too much. But yeah, so Russia, you notice they changed the language that they've been using and the media's been using. It was Russia hacked the election. Over and over and over, we heard it from us. Russia hacked the election. And then there was no proof, of course, that Russia actually hacked the election, which I don't know what that means. Like they sent like a bunch of guys named Barishnikov to put USB drives into individual voting machines in states that they forecast Trump would need help in, which is absurd.
You can't hack an election. You can. It's like saying that they hacked someone's toilet bowl, or you hacked that. There's no possible way that the actual election was hacked.
Yeah, well, they're using the more unquantifiable term of influenced the election now. If you notice that, it's like climate change. First it was global warming, now it's climate change. So it's more ethereal, more quantifiable sort of verbiage.
So if I break into your computer, I can get in trouble for influencing your computer.
Yeah, now I know where all that Asian porn came from.
Influencing. No, I
You're
saw
influencing-
you mention that on the, I think on Facebook about the influencing language that was changed.
Yeah. Good.
I don't understand why, they're blaming Trump for all this happening when, we have a sitting president who's supposed to be, keeping our country safe, and security is supposed to be his number one priority. And on President Obama's watch, the election got influenced.
Well, Obama gave Putin a talking to. He called him and said, "Hey, Vlad, I want you to cut it out. Stop hacking the election." It wasn't hacked. I told him to cut it out. Was the report?
Wow. So maybe
Sure go.
Maybe he did listen. Maybe Vlad did cut it out.
Maybe. Well, according to the intelligence reports, Russia was excited that Trump won because, of course they don't want to go to World War III with a neoliberal psychopath.
No, dude, did he really? Are you being serious about the whole cut it out thing?
That was what was reported, that Obama said he told Putin to cut it out.
So he basically stole language that's used by Joey Gladstone from Full House.
Yeah, cut it out. Woo, Obama. Where's Uncle Jesse? I need some hand jobs.
Some what?
Hand jobs.
Wait, Uncle Jesse gave hand jobs on Full House?
Probably.
I didn't know that. Uncle Danny and Joey were lucky.
Apparently. Well, Danny never really had a girlfriend, so Joey either.
Well,
Had to get it from somewhere. Uncle Jesse looked the most like a girl.
Didn't Joey have that puppet?
Yeah, he was fucking Mr. Woodchuck in the mouth. Hey, Mr. Woodchuck! Get your cum out of my nose! Yeah, I'm looking. New York Times, December 16th. Obama to Putin over hacking, according to the New York Times. Cut it out. Shit you not.
What a homo. I'm sorry. Wow.
I'd be sorry. It be what it be, Sal.
I mean,
what it be. Here, I put in the chat a New York Times video of him actually saying that, if you want to play it.
All right, let me make sure there's no ads in this thing
There
before.
there will be ads. It's but whatever. So
intelligence assessments. The Russians were responsible for hacking the DNC, and that as a consequence, it is important for us to review all elements of that and make sure that we are preventing that kind of interference through cyber attacks in the future. That should be a bipartisan issue. That shouldn't be a partisan issue. And
You want me to try and get to the part where he says it?
well, keep going. I think he's getting there.
Oh, I see it. I got it right here.
Yeah, he's doing lawyer speak, but keep going.
effective way to ensure that that didn't happen was to talk to him directly.
Badass.
There's consequences if he didn't.
All right.
And tell him to cut it out, and there were going to be serious. And tell him to cut it out, and there were going to be some.
hey, Vlad, cut it out. I'm sure he was really shaking in his boots, his bearskin hat. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know, Sal. That's our leadership right now. January 20th, whole nother story. So what do you think of the confirmations? You think just like Obama did, got 7 confirmations done on the same day? I think Bush got 9 on the same day of his inauguration. You think Trump's going to get 7 to 9, confirmations on the same day? Approved by the Senate.
I don't know. I don't see why not. I mean, isn't Jeff Sessions going to be one of them?
Yeah, I think they're. Well, I think they released a list of people who they're going to target. Jeff Sessions is on it, of course. Rex Tillerson is on it, and several others. I think DeVos is on it, as Secretary of Education nominee. So they're going to go after these people, and I think Trump will get them through. They just essentially want to dig up as much dirt on these individuals, embarrass them to help undermine, Trump and his cabinet. I mean, it's politics. It's fucking bullshit.
After January 20th, the whole Democratic Party is going to be undermined because they're going to be a super minority.
Yeah. Super predators, super minorities. They're going to be it.
Every time like somebody says a word like Tillerson, it reminds me of Cuckerson.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Me neither.
I don't know.
What were you going to say?
What? Where are we? No, it's just that they're going to undermine them, and that the Democrats are a super minority in every aspect of our government, from the municipal level all the way up to the presidential. And I saw people talking about, Trump's going to get impeached. Trump's going to get impeached. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard with a Republican-controlled Congress. So it'll be tough to get that one through.
I mean, are you in any way concerned that Donald Trump is going to make America sick again?
Sick of winning. You're going to be sick of winning, Sal. I'm already sick of winning. Well, he won again today with the confirmation of Trump's electoral votes, or the electoral votes in general. I mean, I think there was a few dozen House members were standing up trying to object, and Biden was banging the gavel. No. Sorry, it's over. Move on with it. Because you have to have a senator's signature in order to file a proper petition, apparently, to challenge the electoral votes per state. And, Bernie Sanders didn't sign the petition. I mean, if anyone, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, nope. So even there, I mean, technically, even they are accepting it, and they're ready for the next stage of their, interference with what Trump wants to get done, his agenda.
I think the next big thing is going to be the healthcare issue, because they're really pushing it.
Yeah, they're pushing it hard. I know Rand Paul was on today talking about it. Apparently, he didn't vote for repealing it in the Senate, but I kind of understand where he's coming from. His explanation for not voting, yes, because there's nothing else there, I believe is what he's saying. So I think he said he's going to have a plan within a month. I think Paul Ryan's going to have a plan within a month, which I think is kind of, that's kind of lofty.
I think Rand Paul said he'll have a plan ready next week.
Yeah, he's probably been working on it for what, 8 years now. 6 years.
Him and his gynecologist father probably wrote a whole plan.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'd be interested to see a more libertarian plan with that, balances all aspects of it. I'm going to assume his plan isn't going to be popular, even though it's what is probably fiscally necessary.
That's the issue. At this point in history, in the current year and all that, we need that kind of fiscal responsibility. It's past due. We can't be fucking around with the debt and the deficit and all these screwed up budgets.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been at 3%, GDP growth in a while, a long while. How long has it been, Sal? How many quarters?
The longest span in U.S. history.
Yeah, in the presidency. So I think with the incentivizing, getting the business money was $2 trillion overseas, getting that back over here. Hopefully we could find a way to chip at the debt. I remember watching old videos of Donald Trump. I think he was in 93. He was brought in to talk to Congress about the debt, and he was very, into reducing it. So let's hope that's what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know, how much this wall is going to cost, but apparently Mexico is going to pay for it. But now the liberals and the conservatives and all those type of people are saying, see, look, told you, he lied. He lied. What do you think about that? I mean, where's he going to get the money from? Can he bill them later? Is Mexico just going to write a check? Like you said before in the memo section here, President Trump, for wall, 1/2017. Here you go. Don't catch it till next week, please.
No, I think the whole paying for it thing is basically going to be money that he moves back into the country from Mexico.
Right. So getting at Carlos Slim, how Carlos, look, Kaiter Enless is here with us. Just popped in. Kaiter, how you doing, man?
Greetings and salutations, gentlemen. I'm always doing good. Cloud 9 and rising.
Cloud 9 and rising. Was that Cloud 10? I don't know. Cloud Infinity.
Sure.
Sure.
How do you do?
Whatever. We're doing good. I'm trying to find this thing real quick. Hold on. All right. Yeah. So Kaiter Enless is a professional writer, political aficionado, and futurist operating out of the beautiful farm country of Ohio. His interests primarily lie in reevaluating the way language is used in political and philosophical discourse and understanding how the continuous modulation thereof affects America's collective social thinking, as well as reestablishing a strong and coherent American identity. Mr. Enless is a graduate from the Art Insitute of Pittsburgh with an associate's degree in graphic design. Mr. Enless has written pieces for West Coast Reactionaries as well as the Logos Club, an online e-zine of his own creation. We're going to put all this in the description. His most recent novel, Grave, can be found at the fiction publishing company Cactus Rain Publishing. And his YouTube channel focuses on philosophy, art, politics, and identity. The EPL podcasts and your writing can also be found at newmediacentral.net. You just recently interviewed Jared Taylor and Dr. McDonald and a few other names. I think, how many episodes are you in? 4 now?
Yeah, currently at 4. I'm going to be doing the 5th one with Professor Thomas Sunick, who is a diplomat and an author and former professor, obviously. Tomorrow or the day after. We had to reschedule, unfortunately. But thank you for the glowing introduction.
Oh, of course. Well, I think I've told this to a couple of guests. You know, if a guest says yes to come on the show, I'm going to do my due diligence and the research to do what I can to get the guests out there. Plug them, put comedy dates, whatever it may be. Because you took your time to come on my show. I'm going to take my time to do what I can do to promote you as well.
Well, I appreciate that. What were you gentlemen talking about before I so rudely interrupted?
Sal, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the upcoming battles in Congress when Trump becomes president. Budgets, healthcare, confirmations. I think that sums up basically.
Yeah, what's your take on that? What do you think the left's next move is in obstructionism? As far as what's their tactic?
I'm not really sure, and I don't like to make too many predictions. Most of the television shows you'll see for the mainstream media are nothing but endless projections about what's going to happen in the future. I don't feel personally that I have very good instincts for predicting the future, and generally the people that don't have any kind of evidentiary basis for it. Mm-hmm. It's just what they feel like is going to happen. So I don't know. It seems likely that the obstructionism will increase a great deal more if Keith Ellison wins the DNC chair, which seems likely. I don't believe that Thomas Perez is going to beat him, and he's got the whole Bernie Sanders crowd firmly behind him. Ellison, that is, not Perez.
Right.
So naturally, they're Ellison and Trump and Pence and so on and so forth. They couldn't be more diametrically opposed.
Right. So Ellison, we've talked about him on the show before, Sal. He was the first congressman ever to be sworn in on a Quran, and I think his out was, well, it was Jefferson's Quran, so it's okay, everybody. Don't worry.
Yeah, they dredged up from the what was it, the Library of Congress. Yeah,
it was like dust on it, like, oh, this hasn't been read in 200 years. So that's, I guess, they're gonna go full, balls to the wall. They're gonna leave behind the white working class, it looks like, which they've been doing, for the past 8 years anyway. This has been their agenda to do this and focus more on minorities and racial, quote unquote, issues with the minorities
and Muslims as well.
Yeah, big time. This will get them a lot more support in the Muslim community. Yeah, with Ellison. So what do you think? Can the left or the Democrats survive by leaving behind the white working class? As far, it didn't work this
not
time.
Right now. I mean, obviously, I mean that's why Trump won. But in the future, yeah, sure. But over the next couple of years, no, absolutely not. And I mean, and they can't win even with just the Clinton base that's left. I mean, that's why I don't think Perez is going to win, because it's just a stale and ossified group of people, and everybody knows what they want. Everybody knows what they're going to do if they get back into well, they're already in the halls of power, but if they get more firmly entrenched in the halls of power and they get more power in the halls of power, well, everybody knows what's going to happen, and most people don't really like it. So,
yeah, and that's the quote unquote reaction that I think you're seeing a lot of traditional conservatives moving towards an ideology where, holy shit, things are not like I remember 10, 20, 30 years ago. And it seems to be being taken over by immigrants and the culture as far as that's concerned, especially mainstream media. You look at commercials, it's white people are dumb, that whole thing. With Trump in office, do we have a chance to curb this? What's occurring currently?
Well, sure. I mean, there's always a chance. Well, I don't think I don't think that's of particular interest to him or Pence. It might be of some interest to maybe somebody like Bannon, because he's very, very much an open nationalist in that fashion, and he doesn't want the culture to radically change through mass immigration. But I don't think Trump or Pence are particularly concerned with the culture or anything like that. I don't know. Again, you're asking me to make predictions. I couldn't say.
It just seems that the policies fit in the mode to help I'm assuming curb what's currently happening, and it just so happens it's for the benefit of people like people who think like Bannon and so on and so forth. Question: you posed a question on your Twitter before about Western civilization, and I want to kind of unpack that a little bit. Okay. What is Western civilization to you? I mean, it's a big question. We have a small amount of time. Well, not small, but just...
Well, yeah. See, I don't like questions that are empirically based when people phrase them as a to you, because it doesn't really matter how it is to me. It matters how it actually is. So there is no Western civilization to me. What Western civilization is an extremely broad thing that we could talk about for about 5 hours or more, but essentially it's what I posted, which is it's a Christian pathos and a Roman ethos and a Greco sort of Grecian kind of logos, and it's the fusion of those. Those are, as I see it, historically speaking, the pillars and the foundation of it. And there's other influences, the Jutes and so on and so forth, but those are the most prominent and the most dominant forces, and the fountainhead from which pretty much all of our philosophy and all of our ideals spring from, whether directly or indirectly.
Right. And all that, so Aristotelian sort of philosophy. I think I talked to you about this before, I think going through
we have.
Aquinas and Platonism and all that fun stuff. So we have all these amazing things, all these amazing pillars which have upheld and promoted and kept safe, really, Western civilization, being knocked down by the arrows of Marxists and left-wing agitators and so on and so forth. They want to replace what has worked for 2,000 years almost, with something that we don't know if it will work or not. And obviously it's having a detriment on society. Of course, if we continue to go on this path, you're going to have, Chicago, the murder rate is 752 or something like that. People were killed this year, and things of that nature. If we keep going down this sort of cultural Marxism, I hate that term. If we keep going down, that path, how do you? I'm trying not to ask you to predict, but I'm going to have to ask you to predict because you're a futurist right now. No, but can we ever get it back if it goes past this point? If it keeps going past this point right now in that direction, would we ever be able to recapture it? And if so, give us some historic examples, maybe.
Well, that's an extremely broad question. I disagree with most conservatives in that, just to unpack your statement a little, most conservatives want to conserve a particular set of values, and the reason they do is because they say they've worked in the past. Whether that's true or not, they don't want to move on and experiment. They say this worked in the past and we'll keep it, and that's good enough for me, should be good enough for you. I disagree. I mean, I think if there is a likelihood, if it seems reasonable that something would work better than it has in the past, we should try that. Though I do agree naturally that the new sort of multicultural economic platform model of America has been working out so well. I mean, our debt itself is a testament to that. The racial tension in the country is a testament to that. But as far as being able to recapture sort of the essence of a particular value set, yeah, like it could be. Naturally, some historical examples of that would be, maybe this would be a bad one because we're talking about America, but the fascism was essentially an attempt to recapture the Roman spirit, which they did, I think, quite well. It just didn't pan out so well for them, but I think they did. Obviously, it's not going to be exact because it's not the same time, it's not the same people. Sure. And the ethos of the age was different, but I don't think it's ever impossible. I mean, you hear this phrase online, LARPing. I'm sure you have live action role playing. When there'll be there'll be a pagan or something like that, and there'll be a traditional Catholic or something, and they'll say you're just LARPing. And sometimes the stuff they talk about is kind of ridiculous, but I don't see why. I mean, if it's commensurate with their particular group of people and their coherent and clear values, then no, I don't see any problem with that.
Gotcha. Yeah, and as you said, coherent and clear values in a multicultural society that gets muddied, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the problems I have with most modern day conservatives is that they constantly go on about, we stand for conservative values, but they rarely tell you what those are. And when you ask what those are, they're these kind of vague platitudes, these just sort of amorphous shibboleths. And they're like, I stand for family values. Like, what does that mean? And they never really say. So that seems to be a problem. They don't really seem to know what their values are.
Yeah, I mean, they hear these platitudes regurgitated, for 20 years on talk radio. Not that talk radio is terrible, but that's just the way we, a lot of conservatives and get their information, and they never investigate. They never, we've said this word several times already, unpacked what that means. So, what are family values?
Well, I mean, obviously, it would depend what country we're talking about and what particular region of the country, because that would vary from place to place. I mean, the traditional American family values was the nuclear family, the hardworking husband, the good housewife, the studious children, that kind of thing. The evil stuff, and that's why I like some of the conservatives I like are Bill Whittle. Are you familiar with him?
Bill Whittle sounds very familiar.
He used to work for PJ Media.
Okay.
He looks like a high elf from Oblivion.
And that's the sad thing is I know exactly what you're talking about because I've played Oblivion multiple times. Skyrim, Oblivion. Morrowind was the best. But
of course. Morrowind's great. But yeah, Bill Whittle very clearly delineates what his values are and why he wants to conserve them, and that these are the things he is conserving. So that's a very clear and concise project. But somebody like Bill Kristol, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing. It's just sort of a force of habit, kind of an ideological inertia. And it's just like Israel's great. I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing because he blocked me.
Oh. Well, I've had how many neocons have I gotten into fights with? All of them.
All of them.
All of them. One tried to get me suspended off Twitter because I repeated what he said. He said something about Trump supporters being buried in the ground. He said something like to the extent I think all Trump supporters should be put in the ground or have a funeral or something like that. Meaning to die. So I said, I think, was it? I think it was Pothurst. Was it him, Sal?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I said, yeah. I said, I think Jason should be put into the ground. Whatever. And he retweeted and said, "Oh, mass report this man. Mass, he wants me dead." I said, "I just want you to have a nice funeral, and I'm just repeating what you said." That's all. So yeah, these people, as you said, is the empty platitudes that have been repeated for I'd say since Reagan, really 30, 40 years now. Jesus, that's a long time. Like you said, they don't know what's going on. Now, we were talking about the nuclear family, and the nuclear family has obviously been pulled apart. Hopefully, we can regain that again. My wife, I have a wife. I've been married for almost 10 years now. I have 2 young sons, 7 and 8 years old, and I want them to have a better country. And this is what it comes down to me. Than a better country in the sense that they can have pride in where they're from and pride in who they are. And I have to tell them this sometimes because even though they're only 7 and 8, my one son was accused of saying the N-word in school before. It's just a mess. But I want to leave them a better country that they can be proud of coming from than what I have now. As far as going back again, the nuclear family being torn apart, give us a little history lesson. How did that begin in America?
Well, I'm not a historian, but I mean that this stuff kind of trickled in from various different angles. I mean, you mentioned the phrase cultural Marxism before, which in some instances is accurate, but it's a little narrow. I mean, it's not just that. There's all kinds of different forces at play, and that was sort of the genesis of a lot of this stuff, but other things spiraled off from that. It wasn't just that. And that it's kind of become a scapegoat, in my opinion. But I mean, I think that really picked up in the 60s. I mean, that's why so many conservatives consider the 1950s is like the high point of America and that kind of thing. Because that was when basically all the people from the free love movement, the anti-war movement, the civil rights movement, and the hippie movement, who, by the way, just because everybody has this idea that the hippies were peaceful, they often weren't. They were often quite violent, just for posterity. But they all started, after the 60s, they started going into the universities and taking over the places of the professors that had been opposed to them. And then they, then it snowballed, and they started teaching the students underneath them. And that's essentially where we have it from here today. I mean, other people will be more, fringe, things like the Frankfurt School of Thought, which did have an influence, but it's just like, there is no one thing. There's not one ideology or one person or one group that led to this. It's a confluence of hundreds of thousands of different moving parts.
Right. Yeah. It's there's, like we said, cultural Marxism, I guess, I'm trying to look for, subjectivity,
deconstructionism.
Yeah, Derrida and all that.
Yeah, Derrida, Jacques Derrida, that he was a big influence.
Yeah.
And the sort of, nothing, that led to the cultural relativity and things like that. I think the blank slate theory has a lot to do with that too, because if you kind of assume that there are no inborn biological impulses and that they don't vary from different groups of people, then it makes sense to assume that you can hold every other group of people to your standards.
Right.
But that's absurd. It's empirically false.
Right. It's what's one of those, I can't even think. I took philosophy and theology in college, and it's all coming right back, but sitting in the back of the brain going, you haven't used me in years. So it's one of those situations where they go, my feelings are what my feelings are, and you can't say anything about that. Well,
subjective truth. I think you could say that. Like it is true that it's true for them, but that doesn't mean it's true in any collective sense. It's true it's observable to other people. I mean, the best description of truth is that which does not change regardless of your opinions about it. So yeah, that's quite a roadblock to any kind of useful conversations on anything.
Right. So yeah, when you're trying to speak with someone that, you know, legitimately believes with their heart and mind and body that there are 35 genders, it's hard to get through to somebody because they're coming from, you know, everyone's coming at different angles, you know, everyone has their presuppositions.
That's true. But I would also say that in regards to, you were asking me where sort of where cultural Marxism came from and stuff like that. And I was saying it wasn't really everything. The question that most people don't ask is why that was successful in the first place. What changed within the American people to allow them to be subjugated to that kind of ideology? And I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think a thorough picking the brain of that subject would be fascinating and insightful, because it's sort of like bullying. You can't be bullied if you don't allow yourself to be bullied. You can be beaten up and somebody can mug you, but you can't be bullied. That's a psychological frame of mind. So if somebody comes up to me and they say, "Give me your lunch money," I said no, and then he said, "Oh, I'm gonna beat your face in," or something like that, and I said, "Well, I'm not gonna give you my lunch money," and then he punches me in the face. I wasn't bullied. I was just assaulted.
Right. And going from that, as far as you know, in your bio, it says that you're a futurist. You want to explain to our audience exactly what that means?
Yeah, well, the futurists were a artistic movement that emerged in 1909 in Italy before the war, and it was led by a sort of a ragtag collective of various different artists. The very first futurists were primarily poets, but that quickly spiraled off into art, into painting and drawing and all kinds of different things. And it was led by a man named Philip Tommaso Marinetti, who is an Italian poet, an extremely intelligent but very eccentric individual. And the idea was basically to be vociferously anti-traditionalist, because they seen that the structure of Italy as such was ossified. It was decaying. There was no dynamism. There was no industry. Everything was falling apart. Or if it wasn't, it was just in stasis. And so they wanted to tear away all the cobwebs from the old world and basically create a new tradition that would revivify Italy. And so it was interesting because it wasn't just an art movement. It was also a social political movement as well.
Wow. And as far as that philosophy applying today, who are some thinkers that you follow in that movement, and where do you see it going?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the interesting thing, is that there really aren't, at least as far as I know, there aren't any people alive today of which I am familiar with that would describe themselves as an Italian futurist. I wouldn't even describe myself as such because I'm not Italian. You know, I was
described as an Italian vampire yesterday.
So I heard, but I think Guillaume Faye is very close along that line. But still, it's quite different. He has a sort of a philosophy that he advocates called archaeofuturism, but that's a bit different. It's more like, you know, archaic values merged with futuristic technology, which is quite different. The futurists weren't about archaic values.
I see. So he's so. Can there be you know, going forward, a sort of re-emergence of the nuclear family coinciding with wanting to reach higher and you know, like going to the moon? Okay, so now we're going to go to Mars eventually, and have society not have to be a leftist sort of cesspool, while, because a lot of people like in Microsoft and Bill Gates and these guys are, you know, generally left-leaning thinkers. What do you think about that?
Well, that has a lot to do with biology. Jonathan Haidt, or Haidt, as it's sometimes pronounced. I'm not really sure what the exact pronunciation is, but I believe it's Haidt. He did some studies on this and found that conservatives on a consistent basis, tend to test better for things like orderliness and self-control and discipline and so on and so forth. Whereas liberals, so the stereotypical kind of things.
Yeah.
The liberals tend to test well for very stereotypical things as well. One of the ones that wasn't so stereotypical was creativity. Conservatives tended to test very low in creativity and apply the application of ideas. But the liberals tended to test very well on creativity and the application of ideas. And so you have this counterbalancing effect where the liberals were very good at creating new ideas and new ideologies and new platforms, mental platforms. But the conservatives were very, very good at maintaining them because the liberals couldn't maintain them because they were too chaotic. So it's sort of a yin and a yang. I don't, and I think that, I think it's primarily to do with biology that people tend to go in one direction or the other.
Okay, so the artistic liberal comes up with these grand ideas, and the more conservative, orderly individual puts them into motion, essentially. Generally speaking, generally speaking,
everything's a bell curve.
Yeah. It's just the prerequisite. Generally, it's it's. I don't know. You have to put it there. You have to qualify, I suppose, the statement in that way, because you'll just be accused of, well, I know this one guy down the road that, he's conservative and he's one of the greatest writers I've,
I don't know, because you cut out completely. I couldn't hear anything you said.
Oh, no. I was saying that, you'll have that one person. Well, I know a guy that, he lives next door to me. He's one of the greatest.
Yeah, right.
Of course.
An exception does not necessarily prove the rule. Which in and of itself is a rule that actually bears no exception. So that's a truism, but go ahead.
Okay. And so we're right now, 2017, it's, January 6th where I am. You're from Ohio, right?
I am.
You are. Okay. Columbus, you have Cleveland, Cincinnati, big cities over there. Just give me some example. What's going on? I don't have John Kasich as the governor. Are you at all involved in local or state politics, and what's happening over there currently?
I mean, I vote, but I'm not, I'm not running for office or things like that. I don't think I would like to, but I'm not going to, because I know that I wouldn't get elected because I would be too honest for politics. I find being dishonest and warping one's message distasteful. And so there's no point in me attempting to do anything in politics. I think it'd be better serving my community by just doing what I do online and saying what I say when I go to my local coffee houses and things like that. As far as what locally is going on, I mean, not a whole lot. It's Ohio. It's a very sleepy little place. One of the most interesting things that's been going on is the inflow of migrants I've been seeing. So in Columbus, which isn't very far from me, there's thousands upon thousands. I think the census put it at around 40,000, but most of the people that live there say there's more Somali migrants.
Oh boy!
And for those that don't know, Somalia has fallen into complete anarchy. It's a ANCAP's wet dream. So if there's any ANCAPs listening, you should move to Somalia. It'd be perfect for you. Some people, though, have put the number at around 100,000. I don't think there's quite that many here, but Obama wants to import 100,000 more and do so every single year until they're all taken. Until we take every single Somali, which I think is absurd. It's madness. But there's a lot of Sikhs. I like Sikhs. They're relaxed, wise people. And there's quite a lot of Jordanians as well. Not quite so relaxed, I would say.
And I've had a conversation with my friend from Norway. He said there's a lot of Somalis in his neighborhood in, I think, East Oslo. He's been noticing, even though Norway is one of the few countries that haven't taken as many migrants as the EU wants them to, because they're not part of the EU. Still, they are still doing
what happened.
Cultures and these individuals that are totally radically different from us. If we put we're gonna, with Trump, I'm hoping to put a stop to a lot of this now. He said we're going to make sure, we're gonna, what's the term he used, Sal? extreme
vetting.
Yeah, we're going to perform extreme vetting, and we're not going to allow people in from terrorist nations. At first he said Muslims. People were like, oh no, can't have that. So he said terrorist nations. The same fucking thing. I mean, the IRA isn't active right now. So we don't have to worry about denying Irish immigrants coming here. As far as Europe is concerned, is there an out? And if there is or isn't, why is that?
Well, an out from what?
An out from this constant barrage of multiculturalism.
Yeah, easily. I mean, and I think what you see happening is the out, so to speak. I mean, Geert Wilders and Marie Le Pen and Viktor Orban and all the rest of them, Nigel Farage, and now Trump. Or rather, him first, and then the rest is sort of like an inspirational kind of moment to the rest of the world. Yeah, I don't know if their regimes are going to turn out to be particularly well, but all of the those people are very opposed to the deracination of their culture and essentially the colonization of their countries. So I think that's a good thing.
Right. So
Viktor Orban, he put up a big border fence with barbed wire, and he made a public statement where he said he wanted to put pigs' heads up there to keep the Muslims away. So he's kind of hardcore, but yeah.
Why didn't he just tell the Muslims to cut it out?
Like Obama did.
Probably because it wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't work at all. It would just get laughed at like we are laughing at Obama right now. Tell me about your background or knowledge about working knowledge about Islam as far as conquest and such. I'm curious.
Well, I'm no scholar, but I know a bit about Islam. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to cover.
Yeah. All right, start with the very beginning. The very beginning, and we'll go all the way up to today. Now, how it got started as far as becoming a not only political force but a war machine as well.
I don't actually know the precise beginnings of it. Other than that, it started with Muhammad, who was declaring himself a prophet. Right. But I don't feel. I don't feel confident enough in my historical knowledge about it to really go into it any detail. I think there would be other people who would better serve you for that purpose.
Fair enough. Because what I've seen from Islam since Muhammad, not only do they take over by the sword and through violence, of course, and conquest, which most cultures have done throughout history. It's also if they can't take over Egypt, they can't break the wall down or whatever. The colonization. Oh, we're peaceful. Have babies now. Guess what? Muslims reach a 10%, 20% population, and they take over your country from the inside, of course. And this has been historically accurate within Islam because, Egypt Christian, Lebanon Christian, go on. So Syria, all Constantinople. This is how they operate. Why is it our liberal sensitivities that have blinded us to these facts, especially in Europe? I mean, what do you think?
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, most people have a very liberal sort of ethos. It's just like most people have a Christian ethos, but they don't really realize it. I have neither of those things, so I really haven't since I was younger. Yeah, not to sound too, I don't know, special snowflakey, but yeah. So that's never really been something that that I feel has blinded me. Other things have blinded me. General ignorance and lack of knowledge being the primary one. Arrogance is another, but yeah, it's a liberal sensibility of inclusion and universality, where I was recently listening to a podcast by Sam Harris. He has a podcast called the Waking Up Podcast, and he was talking with Majid Nawaz of the Quilliam Foundation, who was himself a former Islamist. And he was saying that the only thing, they were both agreeing on this point, the only thing that we can't be skeptical of is classical liberalism. I thought, so you're opposed to old dogma, but the dogma of classical liberalism, and you're admitting it. I mean, that was just mind-boggling to me.
Wouldn't that be dogma?
Yes, exactly. But I mean, that's the only way, apparently.
Yeah.
And that kind of leveling ideology puts other people to standards that we know they can't. We know they can't meet. We know if we imported, let's say, 5,000 Australian Aborigines, and we imported 5,000 Chinese from Beijing, the Chinese from Beijing would outperform in our society the Aboriginals, like every time. We know this would be true. And so when certain people can't not just integrate, but just compete at all upon any given playing field, you shouldn't be trying your damnedest to put them on that playing field, because it's unfair not just to the people who are already on the field, but to the people you're trying to bring in.
Right, because you're just setting them up for failure, and obviously, if you bring them into a society, a Western society, they're going to be a leech on our social welfare systems.
That too, yeah.
Isn't that statement a little bit Aborigin phobic? Aborigin,
probably, I'm sure.
There's some sort of phobia there.
Yeah, a note on this phobia. I'm sure everybody knows by now, but for those that don't, phobia means an irrational and very potent fear of something. So it's almost always misused. The people that I know that hate gays aren't afraid of them. They just hate them. So you can just say you're a gay hater, but saying that they're homophobic is it's just a misnomer. It's not true.
So one could probably be Islamophobic because of their history, and actually what happened today, which we're going to discuss on a later segment, which may have been ISIS inspired or Islamic inspired, I should say. So that would be a more legitimate claim than saying homophobic, because not many gays are running around blowing themselves up in the name of gay God. It's not happening.
Gay God.
I don't know what they would do. Gonna blow myself up into the name of this, sex toy.
They just blow themselves.
Dun. Anywho, Kaiter, it was a pleasure having you on. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for bringing me on, gentlemen. I hope I didn't bore you too terribly.
No, we increased the IQ points of myself and Sal by at least 10, I think. So that's good.
I don't know about that.
Well, it was very low, so don't worry. Very low bar. Kaiter,
well, I'll talk to you gentlemen soon then.
Absolutely. Just real quick, before I forget, you can follow Kaiter on Twitter at Kaiter Enless. You can, again, go to newmediacentral.com, go to his EPL podcast. Everything is in the description. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. Mr. Enless, again, appreciative. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later, gentlemen.
All right, man. Bye.
Take care, man. I think I'm going to have to fire him. He's too smart.
He's too smart for us. I love him. He's a good dude.
He has too much common sense for his own good.
Yeah.
No, he's
well, what's that?
I like him.
I like him a lot too. I think from what I've listened to and from what I've read, he's on point, and he's always striving to learn more, which is I appreciate that. And anybody who just wants to learn more about either about themselves, about the world, knowledge, theology, whatever it may be, philosophy. These are only positive attributes,
I think the way he's doing his podcast and the guests he's getting and his target audience, I think he keeps it up. He's gonna grow into something pretty big.
Yeah, hope so. I wish him, of course, nothing but the best, because he's part of our New Media Central little experiment. No, it's not even an experiment. It was an experiment back in July. Now it's kind of grown its own little wings, and it's doing its own thing pretty much.
Dude, there's already like a stigma attached to it, like different ones from different people.
Yeah, well, let's not get into that.
Some think we're this, some think we're trash. I heard somebody called us a garbage website.
Yeah, maybe it's true. I don't know. Are we? I don't think we are. I think as far as our content is concerned, we pump out a lot on a pretty regular basis, and to organize this many types of individuals, various mindsets on the right is not the easiest thing. To be honest, I mean, I get along with everybody. It's just the the organization aspect of it and the implementation of it. And we John Stutzman is really good at the implementation aspect of it, and I give him a lot of credit for that.
I called when I wanted to start this independent, journalism, independent opinions.
Yeah,
there's plenty of it here.
Oh yeah, it's definitely there's it's all the way pretty much everything on the right aside from neocons. I would like to get maybe not an ANCAP, but maybe another one, a libertarian sort of show. But we'll talk about that of course later. Again, I just want to thank Kaiter for the 18th time. So Sal, we're gonna play a game.
Okay.
BLM kidnapping. I'm sure everyone's familiar with what happened. It was tragic. 4 pieces of human garbage assaulted and scalped and made a mentally disabled white man drink toilet water, and they were arrested. They were charged with a hate crime, correct?
Yeah.
Finally, after the police we're not sure. While as he's saying, "Fuck white people." How are you not? He's saying the evidence it's in your face, and it's not a hate crime. Even though I believe hate crimes are within themselves hateful. I mean, any crime is can be labeled that. I suppose. I don't know. I guess I suppose it's the motive that matters here. I don't. If I'm being tortured for my wallet or because I'm white, it sucks either way. Yeah. So. But this poor man and his parents had a press conference, I believe, last night. They didn't say much except for thank you for people who support us. It's a very tough time. One of the BLM kidnappers is a rapper, Sal.
Yes. His name is PBG Hothead.
Yeah, PBG Hothead, and he's had beefs with other rappers in Chi-Town, as they say. Now we're gonna play guess the words, and right now I'm gonna say you can't guess nigga because he says it about 75% of the song, if you could call it a song.
In the comments, somebody said they stopped counting at 32. They gave up.
32. So, nigga. Ooh. Okay. So he says it a lot. So Sal, I want you to try, and you've listened to it before, and you've tried to guess. You couldn't guess like one or two whole sentences. We're gonna give you a chance. We're gonna try to guess what PBG Hothead human trash rapper guy is trying to say. Go ahead.
I just want to say that I tried to prepare myself for this for the last 24 hours. I wanted to actually rap along with this song, but it was impossible. So
you can't do it unless you drop your, like we said, Kaiter, raise our IQ 10 points. Well, then we have to lower it to where we normally are, and then another 20. Maybe put marbles in your mouth, and then you might be able to interpret it. But go ahead.
All right, let me play this shit.
Yeah, man.
Call dog, give me some cold nigga. Call dog, give me some dope nigga. Everything go for a low nigga.
I don't understand that baby that just popped into the song too.
Yeah, the baby.
Who's
baby? I think it was his mama's baby that he gave her $400 for the abortion, dropped her off at the clinic, and she went and bought some lean. I think that's what it was. And then here's the baby in the background. That's my kid. Not supposed to be here.
All
right, I heard that. Catch me on the show. Catch me on the road doing shows, nigga.
Catch me doing shows, nigga. Go ahead.
I heard that. Chase money, chase hoes, nigga.
Oh, you're good. You're doing good at this. Keep going.
Call dog, give me some dope, nigga. Call bar, you some dope, nigga. Everything going for a low, nigga. Tell the rider, you get smoke, nigga.
All right.
What did he say?
He said call someone when you need something, and then he said call someone when you need something else, and something about their prices being on the low. So basically, they got the drugs on discount prices.
Oh. So, okay, so they have drugs at discount prices. They have babies, and they say nigga a lot. So what else are we supposed to get from this wonderful piece of art?
Rider, you get smoke, nigga. Catch me on the road doing show, nigga. Look for me out here on pole, nigga.
Wait, now he's just repeating himself.
He's just repeating it.
I heard him just say it again. Catch me on the road doing shows.
What was that meme? Good thing nigga rhymes with nigga, or this would be hard.
Money on chase hoe, nigga. You got everything for a low, nigga. Call a dog, or you need some coke, nigga.
Didn't the Patriarchy show just have a dispute, like some kind of dispute with YouTube over?
Yeah. The Pogues, that Christmas, the song by the Pogues. Yeah, which we got away with and we won, of course, because there was no copyright issue there.
Now YouTube has no problem with this video where the guy is holding up bags of heroin in his hands. He's flashing guns at the camera. There's no problem. 38,833 views and 1,900 subscribers.
Yeah, well, you think a lot of that was recently, though?
Yeah, I think so, because I can't even read some of these comments. Angry Caucasians. And it looks like it was filmed on a T-Mobile Sidekick camera or something.
It probably was, Sal. A T-Mobile Sidekick. Hit me up on that.
Everything going for a low, nigga. Try to ride that, you get smoke, nigga. Look for me, I be on the pole, nigga. Catch me on the road doing shows, nigga. Take some money, I don't chase hoes, nigga.
What was that?
I don't chase hoes, nigga.
Oh, he doesn't chase hoes, so he doesn't like hoes.
Maybe they chase him. I don't know.
Hose down, bros up. I don't know what's happening here, Sal.
I'm only 40 seconds in. How many N-words did you hear?
85. He's repeating the same thing over and over.
I'm gonna skip to like 2 minutes.
He's our generation's Baudelaire.
You the nigga got they petty open ain't cheap. You kept him in the mall, pocket rock with him. If I had run nothing, the shot fire. Now I ain't on the ground, thinking damn a lot hit me. I'd end up in the back, but the mop hit him. Cop butcher with a pro, burn him out with him. Being on the gun where he's running at. And the gun got scope head coming back.
What?
Something about something.
Something about the mob gonna shoot him in the head. I don't know what the hell he just. Call dog when you need some coke, nigga. That's what he just said.
Well, I know who I won't be calling because they'll be in jail. Hopefully, getting anal prolapse from a huge black tranny.
So he's basically this is basically a commercial for his drugs.
And in the video, they're flashing guns and heroin and things of that nature to show how tough they are and how cheap their drugs are. And like, hey, here's a cool commercial we're gonna make for drugs. Are there any more of him rapping? Do we have any more videos? Yeah, let's. And our listeners, I apologize. The music, I just find it hilarious how awful this is. And this is the type of human being that attacked a mentally handicapped man when this man probably could be labeled mentally handicapped himself.
Yeah.
We got anything for a low nigga.
Wait, I think I just found a freestyle from him.
Uh-oh.
Gang, I'm already knowing, shawty. Gang, squad.
What?
I don't know about that mob. BBG shit. Mob K.
Let me get out of this whole intro part and go right into the song.
Hey, Sal, real quick before you play it, I hope PBG Hothead doesn't give us a copyright strike for playing his music. Imagine PBG Hothead. Get a YouTube alert from PBG Hothead. Go ahead.
From the county jail. See. Oh my goodness.
Go. And if he try to run, then I'ma have to chase him down. Run 100 round, 100 chopper, knock him down. Then I back up on the block, trip by ice, dirty Sprite. Now I'm pulling up.
What's that?
What's he talking about? Dirty Sprite.
Yeah, lean. I want to see what he rhymes Sprite with. You can play it real quick. The end of this verse.
Run up on me, shit shots to his face with that A1 leave a trace. Do his hands like.
Did he not rhyme Sprite? He just kept talking. So he just gave up on rhyming altogether. He's like, okay, I got the first two near rhymed, and then I got Sprite and I'm just gonna keep going. I don't care. It's just music,
really
me
a
talking
hard
over
word.
music essentially. Sprite, bright, height, light. Once, I mean,
my kids have like. Doesn't Dr. Seuss teach you how to rhyme?
I don't think his dad read him Dr. Seuss. I think his dad is named Zeus and ran away when he was 2 months old. Oh my god.
Back up on the block, we throwing up a foe. Then we back up on the block, then my niggas tone post. Up in the trap, my niggas in the trap got their phones on, ready freestyling. Just to rather hit the studio. Matter of fact,
should I? Let me give it like 10 more seconds.
No, just end it. I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna vomit. Speaking of vomit, no. I don't know. I'm trying to limit my intake of meat and carbs and sugars and artificial sugars and everything except for fruits and veg and like whole grains and seeds and shit like that. Because with my condition, for those just tuning in now, I have a couple autoimmune diseases. Not AIDS. Rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren's syndrome, things of that nature. So the healthy fats are supposed to help with that, and did it for a few days, and I feel miserable. It's just my body going, "Oh, what the fuck have you been doing all these years, you asshole?"
While I'm sitting here friggin' chowing down on a bag of Chex Mix.
Yeah. No, well, don't you eat meals that are like vegetarian in nature a lot of times?
Yeah, I honestly do try to eat a healthy diet, but since Thanksgiving, I've been really bad.
He's been like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, my problem is my cholesterol. So
that's the guinea curse.
I try to cut down on red meats and all that shit. I have to exercise more because I don't like taking meds. So I probably could take Lipitor or Crestal.
Statin.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do it the natural way, but what I eat recently isn't helping.
Yeah, well, there was a study that came out recently saying that cholesterol doesn't matter. It's not. I'm not sure that's true, but they it was a long study, peer reviewed, saying cholesterol doesn't matter. I mean, you could Google it, about a new study about cholesterol that doesn't matter. Yeah, you might want to Google that when we're off air. You might want to look into that. So maybe I'm not saying eat as much pork roll from Slater's Deli in Leonardo, New Jersey as you can, but
what's his name this year?
Who, Kevin Smith is going to pop up?
Don't send your wife there to pick up a sandwich.
Yeah, don't. Well, allegedly, I was told that Kevin Smith, if you don't know who he is, Silent Bob, does a comic book show. He would give free Clerks, that whole thing. Yeah, I mean, I lived in a town that was probably 10 to 15 minutes away from where he grew up. I was told by a couple girls that he would give free cigarettes if they flashed him when he worked at the Quick Mart or whatever the fuck it is. Now, this is all alleged. This is all hearsay. Don't know if it's true, but more than one person has told me this. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get sued, Sal. I have how much money left?
There's a lot of sexual assaults along the Henry Hudson Trail.
That's all it is. It's like, oh wow, we're getting really inside. So let's move away from that. we're talking about Monmouth County, New Jersey. Like everyone knows what we're talking about.
Total fucking like it's somewhere where PBG Hothead would hail from.
Yeah. No, it was Monmouth County. It's all white people for the most part, except for when you hit Keensburg. Then that's where it gets really dark. I mean, Hispanic. So, go ahead.
Where Esteban Santiago would live.
Oh, Esteban Santiago! Big news, everybody! If you just woke up, Fort Lauderdale shooter, Esteban Santiago. Now, was he from New Jersey? Is that what the reports are saying?
I don't know the reports about where he's from or any of that right now. Right now, the news is the big thing right now is the debate because of CNN
Right.
posting a black and white picture and cropping it so you don't see his. I forgot the scarf. What's the name of the scarf that Muslims wear?
It begins with a K.
Yeah.
It's called the cum bracelet.
There you go. You got the cum bracelet around his neck, and
I don't know.
yeah, he's doing the ISIS one finger salute. They cropped that out too, so they basically whitewashed him.
It was a white lash, Sal, as Van Jones would say.
They're blaming it on PTSD, not the fact that he's been visiting jihadi websites and forums since 2007.
That we know of since 2007. It could have been sooner, but that's the earliest we have reports. I wrote up a little something when it was happening on newmediacentral.net. I put pictures of the gunman up. You know who broke the Islam connection? I believe first was researcher Got News. GotNews.com. They were the ones, the Charles Johnson site, to break the Islamic connection. About him being on bomb websites, with the scarf on, with the one finger thing. I think it represents one God, Allah, because of Christians and Trinity and such. Picture of him in his military gear. CBS News reported that, and I just reported some general stuff, newmediacentral.net. You can catch it all there. Also, you could go to Got News as well about the Islam connection of Esteban Santiago. I think it's like he had three. Esteban Santiago Ruiz. He was living in Anchorage, Alaska from 2014 to 2016. He has a minor criminal record in Anchorage and was evicted from his home for non-payment of rent, apparently. He is believed to be living in Lake Mary, Florida. And apparently there was I believe child pornography charges in 2012. Is that
wonderful?
Is that right? Yeah, I think CBS News reported that. He walked in.
Wait. We're talking about Esteban, not
yeah, Esteban,
right?
Yeah, Esteban.
Okay, not Kevin Smith.
No, stop. Esteban. And he walked in November of 2016, just a couple months ago. He walked into an FBI office in Anchorage claiming he was being forced to fight for ISIS. Sources tell CBS News. So here he is, flags all over the fucking place, and going to these websites, being radicalized. Now he goes to Iraq when the war is being wound down. He wasn't there for, like 2004, when, the siege of, the different Fallujah and such. I mean, he, was just there. I mean, God bless the guy, I guess, for that. But now, goddamn the guy for being a piece of shit and just shooting random people in Florida. Fuck him. I hope he rots in hell. I hope someone assassinates the fucker. I'm sick of this all the time. Now I'm going to yell, guy. Now it's yelling Ian time. Every time this fucking happens, people don't want to say Islam. And every time it turns out to be Islam. Muslims make up less than 1% of the United States population. Less than 1%. And every fucking time it's Islam. Every time. Pulse. Oh, it's probably a right-wing Trump supporter who hates fags. Islam. Who was on the radar of the FBI. So this is a complete breakdown of our domestic, intelligence organizations, the FBI and such. How did Medine go and kill 50 people at Pulse? How did this guy walk into the office? Said ISIS he wants him to kill people. And go, okay, let me write it down. Okay, what's your name? Okay, yeah. All right, see, have a go on. We'll look into this. What is this?
It's not really that funny. I shouldn't be laughing, but
the way I said it was funny. So
and in the meantime, when we're talking about all this bullshit, and we should be focusing on radical Islam and how to stop, how to cut it out, how to defeat this shit.
Right.
You got the bullshit mainstream media, the establishment. What is John McCain talking about right now? Russian cyber intrusions are an act of war.
Yeah, cyber intrusions are an act of war.
So
are we gonna go to war?
Somebody writes on Twitter. This guy Michael Tracy. McCain would declare war on a loaf of bread.
On a loaf of bread. Yeah, Michael Tracy's been, he's no fan of Trump, but he's been a pretty honest journalist with all this concern. He's written for Vice and a few other sites and magazines, and he's been on this. He's been on the whole Russia thing. I suggest everyone follow Michael Tracy. Google, I think it's M Tracy, right? His Twitter handle. Yeah, he's been on this whole Russia. He's been covering it the entire time, and he's honest. He's not, pulling punches. He's not fucking around. He's not, going all in on this whole Russia theory. And the sad part is a lot of journalists and pundits, you listen to Fox, you listen to CNN, you listen to MSNBC, they're all in on this Russia thing. They want to delegitimize. They want to box Trump into a corner, essentially. So now people and everyone believe Russia's the enemy, big bad bear in Russia. And now if Trump tries to be friendly with them or try to sign treaty, whatever it may be, remove, anything. Now Trump's an enemy. Now Trump's the bad guy because he's Putin's puppet now. That's what's going to happen. I'm predicting it now. On the show, January 6, 2017, 10:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The left and maybe even some of the right, Trump's going to try to be nice with Putin, make buddy Putin's puppet. And there's going to be articles written about it, left and right in the New York Times.
Yep.
And speaking of the New York Times, who owns the New York Times now? Carlos Slim, right? And you wonder why they were so unfair to Trump, because not only is Trump on the right, of course, they're going to be unfair to him regardless. It could have been Marco Rubio, but it's extra unfair because of the way Donald Trump wants to build the wall. And one of the ways he wants to pay for the wall, which is going to impact Mexico's second highest source of income, which is Mexicans sending money they make it America back to family members or whatever in Mexico. He's at, a wire tax, essentially. Carlos Slim made most of his money through wire companies.
Yep.
So now Trump's going to say, nah, money you sent over there, going to go towards the wall. And so, now, you have the gang of Vicente Fox is, cursing on Twitter at Trump. Did you see that tweet?
No.
A few hours ago? Yeah, Vicente Fox said, you're not going to, Mexico is not going to pay for your fucking wall. I think he spelled fucking wrong. I think he spelled it F-U-C-K-E-N. Maybe that's Mexican for something. I don't know. Mexican.
What a maricon.
Oh, maricon. Hey, I'm from the Yucatan. You like my mullet, man? You ever see guys? You've seen those guys from like the Yucatan part of Mexico. They have those like huge long mullets. It's like shaved on the side. They used to work with. Used to hire lots of Mexicans.
Like Diamond Phillips.
Yes, and it had the long mullet tail in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of Mexicans, what did I find yesterday, Sal, on Facebook?
Oh shit! What was that? Facebook Market. Wasn't a Mexican
Market
sold on Facebook?
It was a rare snow Mexican. He was standing in the snow, just standing there in a coat, and it was all in Spanish. And it basically said $500. I don't know. He said trabajo, so I'm assuming job. He was looking for a job. It said $500. So you could buy Mexicans apparently on Facebook. Snow Mexicans, even the rare ones.
I don't know. I didn't see a lot of snow Mexicans when I was a landscape foreman because they all went back to Mexico and came back in the spring.
In the winter. Right. So this one, maybe that's why he costs so much, because he's a rare snow Mexican. Makes sense, right?
Yeah,
he's like a rare Pokemon. My kids, do your kids love Pokemon? My kids do. Anyway, he's like a rare Pokemon. And you hired a lot of Mexicans. I don't know how long the length of time $500 is for. I'm assuming that's a week. Because what's the going rate for a Mexican from the Home Depot in New Jersey? $100 a day?
Oh, when I was doing it, they were only getting paid $50 a day, so half that.
Whoa! Yeah, I guess the price has gone up.
He's rich.
She's no Mexican making that money. He's like, there's no more Mexicans left. I cornered the market, Holmes. Capitalism, essay.
The Mexicans that I worked with, they lived like kings in the winter in Mexico. All the money that they sent home or brought back with them, they were like fucking millionaires down there.
Oh yeah. Obviously, exchange rate obviously adds to it. You know, the abject poverty and the cost of everything adds to it. You know, I guess, you know, a burrito costs 82 cents down there, where a burrito at Chipotle here costs $10. So yeah, of course, you know, those two factor in. And like I said earlier, that is Mexico's number 2, or it was last time I checked a few years ago, number 2 source of income.
We talked
might be number 3 now, but
we talked earlier with Kaiter a little bit about the clash of cultures.
Right.
And I lost a huge account because of these fuckers.
Wow.
We were working at a shopping center, and there was a hair salon in there. And I'm cutting the lawn, you know, people are, you know, trimming bushes and doing all this shit. And a couple of them caught, you know, the view of some of the ladies inside the hair salon. So they're all at the window staring, you know, friggin' sticking their tongues out, making gestures. The owner of the hair salon called the property owner and got us booted off the fucking property because of these fuckers. And it wasn't the first time I got in trouble with them, because they would hit on young girls, like teenage girls.
That's their culture. What's the age of consent in Mexico? 12?
It's like they're like, oh, in Mexico, 15, good. Fucking horrible. It's not good. Don't do that shit here, asshole.
I could finger a 12-year-old asshole in Yucatan, man. Come on, what's wrong with you? It's disgusting. And again, we're talking about the clash of cultures, and multiculturalism is a failure. Didn't Angela Merkel say multiculturalism has failed, and then they let in millions of migrants? What was that? She was lying, I'm assuming, as a politician to get votes. She said that years ago, didn't she, Sal?
I think that's a little bit worse than read my lips, no new taxes.
Yeah, no new, and then the old joke. He didn't make new taxes. He just raised the old ones. Wonka wonka wonka. I think that was on Carson.
That's like if Merkel would have said, "Read my lips, no new rapes."
No new rapes.
You lied, bitch.
You lied. Everyone's getting raped. It's terrible over there, and you're seeing the backlash against this stuff. You know, obviously Brexit. And real quick, speaking of Brexit, the podcast coming out of the UK by Sebastian Cheek, NMC UK editor, and Jack Smith, NMC UK contributor, should be coming out by the end of the month. So it's Make America Great Britain Again. Looking forward to that. Well, you see with Brexit, Nigel Farage, and now Marine Le Pen, who's doing very well in the polls over there, and she's giving everyone a run for their money. In France, you see Angela Merkel, her party lost a lot of seats in the local elections, and she's up for re-election. Italy,
I have a question. Stupid question.
Go.
Are there
no question? This is a stupid question.
Are there 2 Le Pens?
Not mine. There's a lot of stupid questions. Go ahead.
Are there 2 Le Pens in France?
Yeah, there's her father and then her, I believe.
There's what?
Her father.
There's not 2.
There's Marine Le Pen and her father. Who was a political leader as well in France. But
I thought there were 2 Marine Le Pens for some reason.
No, well, she has there's Jean-Marie Le Pen and then Marine Le Pen.
Oh.
Jean-Marie Le Pen is her father, I believe.
All right. I thought that there was 2 Le Pen.
Yeah.
One was like fairly attractive and the other one was older.
Yeah. Well, I mean, her dad is an old man. He's like an 88-year-old man, I think. He's an old guy. Is he still alive?
I don't know.
I think he is. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's old. He's an old dude. He's like in his 80s. But yeah, you have Jean-Marie Le Pen and then Marine Le Pen. Marine Le Pen being the daughter. She actually distanced herself from a lot of her father's views, but still more right than the I guess I don't know what party it is in France, but I guess the general run of the mill conservative party there. She's part National Front.
All right, she has. All right, there's a Marion. What the hell's her name? She has a niece. Marine Le Pen has a niece.
Is she hot?
She's younger. She's not that bad.
Yeah.
She's also in the National Front Party.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a family. It's a family thing.
All right.
It's a family thing. Wait. I'm trying to look. Is she blonde girl?
Marion
Le Pen. Yeah. She's in her late 20s, right?
27. Yeah.
She's part of the National Front. I mean, this is the future right now because of the migrants. Just like 9/11 was supposed to be a wake up call, sadly wasn't for most of America. People had flags on their cars for 3 weeks, and after that, everyone, whatever. I can only imagine how it makes you feel. I mean, it pisses me off. I can imagine it's like 1,000 burning suns to you. How people just forgot. What caused 9/11.
It used to piss me off, but I see the way. I see the way popular culture is. I just see the way America is. It's basically like another. You got all the top famous. It's now basically like, especially for the younger crowd, like a natural disaster type of thing, like the Titanic. Like people are gonna look back at 9/11. It's gonna be like it's the same way people look back. Like younger folks look back at Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
it happened a long time ago. What are you gonna do? We're friends with Japan now. The problem is we're never gonna be friends with Islam.
Exactly.
That's the big difference here. And you're right. I mean, our liberal sensibilities have blinded us to objective truths, which is Islam is not a religion of peace. I don't fucking care how many times you want to regurgitate Quran verses. Say that to the contrary. I know what I see. I know what I've read. I know what I've studied. And it's a religion of violence. Muhammad was a violent man. His first battle, he killed a bunch of Jews and beheaded them all and buried them in the sand. Like, he went to Medina and conquered Medina, Mecca. The guy. This is how Islam was founded, whereas Christianity, of course, was founded on, sacrifice through Jesus Christ. There's a huge difference as far as the origins of Christianity and the origin of Islam. One was through violence, the other one was through sacrifice. And when Muslims act violent, they want to be like Muhammad because they believe he was the greatest example of God on this earth. When Christians sacrifice, they're being like Jesus because he was God on this earth. I'm done preaching. Go ahead.
You should have your own show.
What? I should have my own show.
You could be a televangelist.
No, thank you.
What's that guy that's on TV that wrote all the books?
That's Joel Osteen.
Ian Olstein. There you go.
Yeah, Ian Olstein. All right, God bless you all. Now, let me talk to you about something. You are a winner. You can succeed in your purpose here on earth because you are with God. And if you're with God, God is with you. Platitudes.
How much is he worth?
Oh, I think he has a private jet. He has a couple of huge houses. He's worth millions of dollars. Yeah,
look that up. He's worth almost $50 million.
$50 million. Well, he does a lot of book deals now.
17,000 square foot home with 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 3 elevators, 5 fireplaces, a guest house, and a pool house.
You never know when a poor man might knock on your door and need some comfort. So that's why I have all these bedrooms and fireplaces.
But don't worry, he stopped taking his $200,000 salary from the Lakewood Church.
Well, that's nice of him. Well, I'm sure he also produces, a lot of income. for the church. I mean, he's all over TV and all that. And I think the book deals are a separate thing. I know the evangelical church that I used to attend before I started getting back into my Catholic roots. The pastor there, nice guy, Pastor Lloyd. I'm pretty positive his salary was tied into his book deals. So let's say his salary at the church was $60,000 a year. He was expected to write a book every 5 years. Yeah.
Shit.
Like that was just part of what, he was making. So Osteen does the opposite, the book money is his essentially, but he's not taking a salary. Whereas in this church, it was, Pastor Pulley wrote several books, I believe. He was part of the whole the Calvary Chapel movement. It started with the Jesus Freaks with Chuck Smith in California, where a lot of hippies, wanted to play music when they became Christians, and that's where essentially a lot of the more popular Christian music came from. Sadly, even though most of it is atrocious.
Now, do you trust a pastor with the last name Dollar?
Crefru Dollar. Give me your money. Come on. How, like, it's just, I can't, stereotypical can you be? Crefru Dollar. Why? Then there's T.D. Jakes, of course, the in the black church. You have, what was that guy that hated Obama? Manning?
Yes.
Yeah, remember him? Pastor Manning, he has a church in Harlem. Yeah, Pastor Manning, he has a church in Harlem. Now he hates Trump. I think he was with Trump for a while. Now he hates Trump. And he quotes Bible verses out of context about Trump all the time. I was friends with him on Facebook, actually. I just couldn't take it anymore. It was just a bunch of nonsense. It's gonna take it. I mean, if you what's that?
Creflo Dollar's worth $30 million.
30 million. He's catching up to Osteen. Now, T.D. Jakes might be worth more than both of them because he did a lot of those movies with the guy from Oprah, the Medea guy.
Oh, what the hell is that guy's name?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, he's only worth 20.
Oh, T.D. Jakes only worth 20 million? Who would have thunk it?
You better catch up, boy.
You know how much my priest is worth? I think $8. I don't know. I mean, the Catholic Church in general has a lot of money. The Pope, of course, in gold gilded. I get it. But as far as the regular guys on the ground, the priests and so on and so forth. Actually, my priest, I don't know if I talked about this. He's married. He's a Catholic priest. Byzantine Rite. He's married with 2 young daughters. I'm going to go on Sunday morning to talk to him. But yeah.
Wait.
Go ahead. Oh, Tyler Perry. Someone just wrote in the chat. Tyler Perry was the guy. Medea.
Fuck him.
Yeah, we don't like him. Don't like any of that. Who watches? How does he keep pumping that bullshit out? Are there really that many black people? Okay, so if the population of black people in this country is 12%, and how many is that? Like 35 million-ish? Let's put it around there. Let's say half goes to see his movies. So you're at like 17, 18 million people. Is that enough money really to support his movies to be made year after year?
I don't know.
I mean, you would have to have half of the black population in America to go see your movies. You're awful. Medea goes to jail. I mean, I guess the whites had their version with Ernest, so it's only fair.
Yuck.
Yeah, remember Ernest Scared Stupid? Ernest goes to jail. Ernest fucks a donkey. Which was my favorite. Terrible, man. So, we discovered a new podcast, Sal. We want to get into that because you've been doing most of the work on that one.
You like that music?
That's the music you get fucked in the ass to by a lesbian with a strap on at Lilith Fair.
Hello, everyone.
Terrible.
Welcome.
Ready for the title of this show?
Yeah, let's put it out there.
Here we go. Fucking music makes me want to shoot myself.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Patriarchy Hurts Everyone. This is
The Patriarchy Hurts Everyone.
We're in trouble, Sal. We hurt everyone. I don't think it's us. Well, it's our philosophy, maybe. I don't think Sal and Ian in general hurt everyone. Have you hurt everyone, Sal?
Everybody hurts sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, this.
I'm losing. Now I'm losing my. Are we gonna do this? Now I'm losing my religion. Since I heard that, Sal. Are we doing that? Are we gonna do the reference to REM music? Play more of this show. It's with 3 women. Go ahead.
Help you in stopping the squashing of, by, and from the patriarchy.
Ian really loves their laughter. Like the unnecessary, like.
Needs to stop. So we're here, #squad goals, to help you in stopping the squashing of.
It almost sounds like Hillary Clinton laughing in the background.
It does sound like Hillary Clinton laughing. All cunts sound the same, Sal.
Everywhere in the news with people like Donald Trump,
loser,
grabbing women by the pussy. In pop culture, we have Nicki Minaj pointing out that folks are not.
Pause it. Okay, she said that Donald Trump grabs women by the pussy. Question: how many women has the average man actually grabbed by the pussy? I'm gonna say over a dozen. I'm gonna say over a dozen. Average American male, over a dozen. So what's the problem? They're just mad. No, they're just mad. No man grabbed their pussies.
Their voices are so horrible. They're You made a good point earlier when we were talking about this. There are 3 episodes.
I do that.
Yeah, you do it a lot. I gotta give you credit. There are 3. They started a month ago. They did 3 episodes, and then that was it. So they have 4 followers. I'm looking at their podcast page.
Right.
What do you think happened? Why did they stop? Because
they're women, and that's what women do. When things get hard, they just quit.
The patriarchy.
We see the patriarchy everywhere in the news with people like Donald Trump,
loser,
talking about grabbing women by the pussy.
I wish I could find that part again where they talk about, their definition of the patriarchy. It makes no sense.
Trump
of the podcast
that was
try to find it. I mean, it's all awful, and I feel bad for our listeners right now having to put up with this, but I find it comical. Go ahead. I mean, the sound quality is good.
And public eye, or it can be
the 3 of them have like soothing voices, but some of their delivery on things, you could tell that they're just cunty SJWs.
Yeah.
Like the way they project some of the, and pronounce some of the words.
All right, let's pick something and go 30 seconds and see what happens.
All right,
before you do it, I apologize.
I'm gonna randomly go to this. All right, I'll just stick to the same episode. Who cares? They all sound the same.
Okay. Yeah.
But many of us don't have a choice. We get criticized. We are given notes. We are told how to do. We are told what was wrong, and we are trained how to smile and say thank you, or gracefully accept that information, regardless of whether or not it is fact.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that there is a skew.
Well, and this reminds me of what I was saying during the first debate. This presidential that I
want to hear what she has to say about this first debate.
That literally. This is the first time in Donald Trump's life that he has had to while a woman was speaking.
His fucking company has more women than men working in it.
Well, maybe that's why Atlantic City went bankrupt. That explains a lot.
Well, it was a challenge for him, is what I'm. Yes. Okay. I get it now. But that he had to.
Doesn't that go against their whole argument? If he has to shut up when women are speaking, then what a fucking bunch of cunts.
Try to stand.
No, if go ahead.
His face, which is amazing.
What were you gonna say?
No, I'm saying if he has to, by law or by rule, law of nature, whatever it may be, shut up when a woman's speaking, isn't that evidence that the patriarchy is in remission?
It sounds like that.
Throwing it out there, folks. Go ahead.
It's coming in Mary Poppins? Is that
word as long as I can?
as long?
Let's just use the language that's been provided to us
We'll
because our
use
president
words.
is Barack Obama.
Yeah.
President-elect is someone else.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's all.
And words
just-
matter.
Yeah.
So let's use them.
Words
Yes.
matter,
It's by
Ian.
our founding fathers.
Yes, and nobody knows how much words matter more than
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words make you a horrible, horrendous cunt bag.
Angry men on social media. Like,
Yeah.
That's us.
that voice, that
Right.
amorphous, angry man voice who cannot stand the fact that we have our own feelings and we're allowed to feel.
We're-
Breaking news! Women have feelings, and they get cold at night. I never knew.
They're allowed to have their own feelings, and I like that they do, so we can make fun of them.
That
Yeah, this is half the fun.
less. What's what? Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, other than yes, Donald Trump telling us what the theater means.
Uh-huh.
Whoa! But
And then the men of the internet
the men of the internet,
explaining to you how you feel
how I feel,
or how you should
or
feel.
how I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You should feel embarrassed right now.
I'm embarrassed for our listeners.
Speaking of men
Yeah.
explaining things,
I'm
to
very
us,
embarrassed right now.
I am selecting a controversial figure for
Uh-oh.
mansplaining. Not controversial as a
Mansplaining.
mansplainer, though. I think everyone, even men, would agree that Richard Spencer is a
Oh, no.
Oh, taking shots at the alt-right. Shots fired! Richard Spencer, what are you going to do about these three strong chicks with armpit hair?
I swear to God, I did not hear this. I'm writing down the exact second so I can send this to Richard Spencer.
No. Go ahead.
mansplainer. He is the self-proclaimed, I believe, leader of this alt-right movement.
Does he self-proclaim?
I don't think he self-proclaims it. I think he said he came up with the term several years ago. I don't know much, that's
I'm sure he embraces
general. I'm
it.
not sure if they're... Well, you think? Go ahead.
What it is, please.
It's the Nazi movement.
Thank you.
They're all Nazis. If you like white people, you're a Nazi. What? I like white people. Well, you can't. Why? I don't know, because I'm a cunt.
He is so I listened to this other podcast besides our podcast.
What?
Called Reveal. And it's
Have you heard of
very
that?
interesting. And what they do is they look into different issues and they try to do like a deep dive into different societal and political issues. And they
Tell me
interview
more.
Spencer for their podcast, and it's on their stream on iTunes. And I'll just plug it to our more than 100 listeners. Because,
Bullshit. 78 in one.
Lies.
78 in 1 month.
Their reporter talks to
Asshole.
Richard Spencer, and he is terrifying because he doesn't come off as a mansplainer, but he's saying some really interesting things, and yet he's so palatable, so polished, and so well educated, and he comes across as this like
She
very
sounds hot for him.
things like, I think
I wish he wasn't such a Nazi because I'm gonna fuck him.
it's just normal that we all hate each other and that the races just want to be divided. And I don't know if it'll happen in my lifetime, but I think that an ethno state is really a great goal. And he says it in this way that's so casual and
Yeah, and she says it in a way that makes you want to blow your head off.
Yikes.
It's
Watch out for
really
that shit,
terrifying.
people.
Yeah. So that's my mansplainer.
Watch out,
this week.
people.
Not to call more attention to him because I guess the LA Times did this huge profile on him and made him sort of like glamorous or whatever. I don't believe in that. But I do think that we need to pay attention to
mad.
this like subversive racism that we're hearing where they're trying to normalize it and make it more palatable for like the masses.
You mean like Black
because
Lives
that's not
Matter?
Okay.
Got here in the first place.
Exactly.
Oh no.
What is this?
I don't
What happened?
know.
What was that?
Yeah.
Are we getting in trouble?
Should I keep going? You want to hear what
Wait. Wait. What is this? Cuntober?
No, I'm not playing that.
Wait, play it. Our listeners deserve it. They're part of the patriarchy.
a hero till the end of the night. And we gotta be strong and he's got.
Who's their hero?
I don't know. Them.
Brave. And he's gotta know how to kick ass.
Cringe. I'm shaking.
I'm holding out for a hero.
Shut up.
So, Lady Hero.
Someone needs to tell them shut up.
I want to do a Lady Hero shout out to our dear friend Molly.
Oh, Lady
Have
Hero.
they discussed anything?
Yeah, they said Richard Spencer's a Nazi, and
that lasted all but 30 seconds. All right.
And there was a part earlier where Mike Pence wants to heal gays with fairy magic.
Sounds good to me. They can now because gays are adopting, kids don't have the awesomeness of knowing a mother or a father, of having the love of a mother or a father, because it's either two women or two guys. So that would be awesome, because then the gay would turn to straight, and now that child that they're adopting or now having heterosexually knows the love of a mother and a father, not just two dykes or two fags. Go on.
Ian, you're mansplaining.
Oh, I'm mansplaining about fairy dust. I'm sorry. Fairy dust is a female subject. I apologize, everybody. I disavow.
Go back and just like sit with for a time, addressing this urge that we have to
what? All right, I'm gonna play one more random portion of a totally different podcast just to see if they go, like, what direction they go down.
They're singing all. I sing songs, but it's for comedic value. They sing songs. It's just I just want to throw up.
There are a bunch of Broadway rejects.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, and I think one of them's husband works on Broadway somewhere. So I think
gay. He's sucking cock right now as we speak.
So
I love Hamilton.
what she says, which I think is really exciting and feeds into curiosity, is that vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change.
Do they even know what the fuck they're talking about?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like,
I don't know what that means.
Change. And for me,
bring Kaiter back on the show. Maybe he can decipher.
Yeah, maybe he can decipher this. He knows that he studies other languages, I believe.
My own.
What would you call this language?
Cantonese.
Personal trajectory was the election of George W. Bush, which was kind of where I found myself unable to align with the rhetoric of the Republican Party for the first time, and where I really had to question whether or not what I felt and thought were my beliefs were actually mine, or whether they had just been fed to me, and
this is all I hear.
Whether that's just the world I'd been in. And talking to my husband, who's from a very blue place, and lived in it for a really long time.
Keep playing it.
Conversation in our household, and also here with him. How could people not understand and that he was lying to them?
I don't know why I'm laughing so hard.
You haven't lived there. You don't know what it is to live in a place that may literally have very few or no Black people or Asian people.
What? I don't know. We went to Black and Asian people somehow.
The newspaper is blatantly biased and reports only what the conservatives and uber religious people who
uber religious. Watch out, she knows German, Sal, and she used it awfully, but go ahead.
With when we look at the map, when those of us sitting in our homes watched cities and waited for more votes to come in, and saw entire states. Here we are, we're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Sal, I want to type you something. Keep playing.
Okay.
And
keep playing it.
All I held on to as the returns came in was that my county had gone blue.
That little blue island.
Tiny tiny areas, little pockets all over the country in North Carolina, in Florida. I don't think there was one county that went blue in Oklahoma.
Probably
didn't
not. I
watch.
didn't look
Yeah.
closely enough.
But that's
my
the
message?
first
Remember that.
of
Let me
shame
see.
that I've been in touch
Yeah,
with.
keep playing it.
Peter, what is it?
Fair use for commenting. I'll comment over it. Wah, 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 wah.
End up for what
Wah,
I believe.
wah, 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 wah.
Really similar, Kim.
Wah,
I
wah, wah.
idea of shame regarding politics a lot. I'm also from a red state. I'm from Arizona, which is beautiful. And you know, I grew up during.
I don't know. I don't know what that is,
time,
Ian.
which it still
You don't know
is.
what that is?
And
No.
when I was a kid, I
Oh,
don't
God damn it.
politics as much as they do now. I think that it's become more
I'm not sure.
permissible to discuss it more openly. And I ultimately,
This would be a good bet if I could find it.
Damn it.
because of my internalized shame, I have never felt comfortable discussing politics with people.
My
unless I
internalized
know for
shame.
Sure.
What's that mean?
And
I'm skipping.
quote unquote friend of mine posted.
Well, Sal, I'm going to do something. Pause that and give us your honest reaction.
My honest reaction.
Yeah.
Like my God's honest reaction to what I just listened to.
God honest. I want to know what you think.
I think that they're a bunch of fucking idiots. And they're just babbling on. I think that they're I think that they just wanted I think what happened was they got hormonal during the election and they got all emotional and they decided they were going to start a podcast so they could bitch about it, and then it just died down. And
real quick, check the chat and play them again.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Trump is not opposed to Planned Parenthood funding, actually. What? Yeah. Did he explain more? Did he mansplain more? Well, I
Turn it
had a
off.
little personal moment and made sure I wasn't off my nut and went like PolitiFact. You informed yourself? I informed myself. Holy shit! I mean, I knew that. No, I
wrong,
know.
but
I
I was
know.
like,
but,
all right,
but
you gotta
double
arm
checked.
yourself.
You gotta arm yourself with the exact quote, or else
I'm
they
just
will-
articulating a way that we can
Yeah,
fight the patriarchy
right.
is with fucking facts.
Right.
Right. I mean,
'Cause-
maybe they don't care,
Exactly.
but we do. I'm lifting my coffee. Everybody else got spiked coffee.
Okay. All right, we'll turn it off. Jeez.
I like that.
Well-
I got to keep.
You remember that? I mean, that's an old, I mean, a lot of people used to do that. I mean, that's an old bit, but it just clicked into my brain. Like, this is perfect.
I like that.
Turn
It's
it
from
off.
Hardcore.
Yeah. George C. Scott.
Yeah. Yep.
So there we go. The patriarchy hurts everyone. So the
Apparently.
obviously hurt them because they stopped.
Yeah, they're not doing their show. Well, they haven't done their show in a couple months now, right?
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, look, the first episode they got 45 listens, second 60,
Yeah. There you go. Yeah,
Third-
moving on up.
third 78. So they're on an upward trajectory, but they just stopped.
Yeah. That's too bad because they were going somewhere, Sal. They're going right to the kitchen. Now, next, campus carry activist at Ohio State shot dead near campus. What's that story about? I just said it. I just said it.
Yeah.
What's this story I just read about?
Tarak Andrew name.
All right.
The kid's
What's
an
the deal?
activist. An Ohio college activist. He wanted students to have the right to carry guns on campuses
Nice.
so they can defend themselves. You know, there's a lot of guns rights. He is the first homicide of 2017 in Columbus, Ohio. It definitely wasn't Kaiter, but
No.
he was found dead from gunshot wounds near the campus.
Jesus.
Investigators are saying they don't think the shooting was random either.
So you think it might have been politically motivated?
Yes. I think this happened right after a car and knife attack by a Somali student on campus. And he said that he basically insinuated that campus concealed carry would have made things play out differently.
Right, of course, because it would have. The guy has a knife, you have a gun, who wins? You know?
Exactly. So this story should probably be a lot bigger than it really is.
Yeah, it's silent. You don't hear much about it. It's been blacked out from every, I think we found it on Twitter randomly.
Yeah, it's the main story is on a college website, the College Fix.
Yeah, the College Fix, yeah.
This should be bigger than it really is.
Yeah, real quick. I know we're coming to the end, sadly, for everybody, especially us. About the leaked John Kerry audio. I think you sent me that. What was that about? As far as ISIS,
I don't have that. in the docs, but I just learned of this not too long before the show, and this is another thing that I don't think a lot of people know about. Basically, John Kerry was caught saying that Barack Obama allowed ISIS to grow.
Yeah, it was a leaked audio. I'm assuming he didn't know he was on a hot mic or something.
It appeared. Yeah, it's Let me see if I could find what exactly.
Yeah, I think the New York Times released it without any fanfare, with just like, okay, we reported, haha, and pretty much buried the story and buried the audio, so they can't get accused of not doing it or releasing it. So it's I think it goes back to Obama did a speech in 2014 talking about ISIS, and a couple in 2014 talking about ISIS, and this leaked audio contradicts Obama's speeches that they're trying to fight ISIS. I think it's at the 2nd minute and 18th minute of the audio.
Yeah, let me where is this fucking thing? I can't find it. Son of a bitch.
Where did you send it to?
I texted to you.
Oh, well, that's easy. I could figure this out. All right, boom, boom. Yeah, you get to listen to youngcons.com.
Yeah,
you get to listen to me go through my phone. Isn't that awesome? I'm gonna sing like those women. Deal with it, brah. I'm going to want me to Twitter?
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
I'm gonna DM you on Facebook.
All right, sounds good.
All right, let's see here. Where is UB? There he is, B. Yeah, youngcons.com, and I don't know I think they just reported this, but yeah, I just sent it to you. You should have received it.
Got it.
All right.
Maybe scroll down to the bottom.
I just think this is an important story before we go. To leave off with.
Yeah, this is a very long video. This is over a half hour long, so I have to skip over.
He's at minute 2 and minute 18.
A minute 2. This says at 2 minutes.
The 2nd minute mark and the 18th minute mark, I believe.
All right, let me get to this.
Okay.
What nice audio quality! Holy shit!
It's hard.
There we go.
So the other thing saying hi. 4-6.
Here's Kerry.
Right. Look, I get it. A lot of us wish there was an enforcement mechanism right now fighting on. But we don't have one right now, and that's set. So we're trying to pursue the diplomacy. And I understand it's frustrating. You have nobody more frustrated than we are. Michael's frustrated. I'm frustrated. Don's frustrated. It's
you talk about sexually.
The problem is that you get quote enforcers in there, and then everybody ups the ante. right?
That's probably not the part where he's
Maybe the 18th minute.
the 18th minute.
Yeah.
This is something that needs a lot of time spent on.
Yeah. We're just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, let's throw it out there, and
we'll just play it from the 18th minute and see what happens if he just goes right into it. If he doesn't, within 30 seconds, we'll chop it off.
We do not understand, and this has been the case since 2012, since Geneva Communique. We do not understand
this with 1830
with the Syrians and with the international community to abide with the UN resolution.
All right, here's Kerry.
Well, the problem is the Russians don't care about international law, and we do. And we don't have the basis, our lawyers tell us, unless we have a UN Security Council resolution, which the Russians can veto and the Chinese, or unless we are under attack from the folks there, or unless we are invited in. Russia is invited in.
What are we, vampires?
Well, it's illegitimate.
I don't know what the hell is happening here.
Well, I think he's saying that, we're following international law. Our lawyers say we can't do X, Y, and Z. It's a fucking war. And then essentially we kind of left ISIS alone because it was essentially a Russian proxy war to get Assad out of power. That's going to be later in the clip. You can listen to yourself. We'll put it in the description on here and on newmediacentral.net when we release the show for iTunes. But yeah, it's pretty damning audio, and no one's talking about it. It was just pushed to the side by the media. This is something that you would think everyone in the mainstream media would pick up. And this was put out months ago, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it was put out months ago. But hey, trust your media. The Russians are hacking. They're gonna start World War III, and WikiLeaks is influencing the election, and multiculturalism is awesome. Thumbs up, cool guy. Trust the media. Trust them because they said so. Trust us because we said so. Give me money because I said so. All right, real quick. Video of annoying black guy trying to make whites feel guilty. You see that? The Facebook video?
Facebook video. Is this? Yeah. This is in our documents. No.
Yeah, it's in our docs. It's in red. It's right above the outro. Video of annoying black guy trying. Yep, there it is. You got it.
Uh-oh.
What?
Is that page taken down?
Was it?
It's not there anymore.
Fuck it. All right, we're gonna go. That's it. We're done. I wanted to do that one too. I thought that was a funny one.
Why would they remove that shit?
I don't know. Maybe it was so annoying that people complained. Kind of like the MTV News one, where they were telling white people to go get kidnapped and beaten by black people. Oh wait, that's not what it was. All right, you ready to do the outro? Let's get out of here.
Get the F out.
Get the fuck out of here. Thanks for listening. Make sure you take 10 seconds and give us 5 stars on iTunes. It helps us spread our message of patriarchal, non-binary Islamophobia or whatever. I don't know. NewMediaCentral.net. You can support us through Patreon. Hopefully they don't take us down for being Nazis or something. New Media Central is an independent network of new voices on the right, giving them a platform through podcasts, videos, and written articles. At New Media Central, you will find new takes on traditional opinions. We are growing rapidly, and since New Media Central is independent of PAC and mainstream media influence, we appreciate any help you can give. Give $3 or more a month, and I will give you a PDF copy of my book, Broken. Sal, do you know I wrote a book?
No, tell me about it.
No, it can be purchased on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles and ebook and Kindle and Nook and iBook, or you can do the old-fashioned way and get a hard copy. I mean, that's up to you. I don't care. You can follow me on Twitter at Ian D. Erickson. You can follow the show and or Sal at Patriarchy Show, or you can follow the entire network, which I strongly suggest because we have a lot of new stuff coming up at New Media Central. And again, what is this? Take that off. And again, I want to thank Kaiter Enless, Mr. Endless, for coming on. You can find him on Twitter at Kaiter Enless. His EPL podcast at newmediacentral.net, and his we're going to post all that stuff, and it should be in the description on the website as well for other, more information on Mr. Endless. I'm also on Gab at IDE, of course, description. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to figure out if we want to build this more or go to Facebook when they do their podcast things. So we're gonna try that out. So at IDE on Gab, at NMC to follow the network on Gab as well. Facebook, Patriarchy Show, New Media Central. Are we done? Am I forgetting anything? Do we have any guests booked for next week? Oh yeah, I will be appearing on New York City Crime Report with Pat Dixon on, I think, January 23rd. Yeah, Monday, January 23rd at 7:30. It's a live show, and you have to have a subscription to Compound Media, the Kumia Network, in order to watch. So I suggest get over there, pay $7 a month to watch me. It'll be awesome. I promise. If just for the month. Go to Compound Media, subscribe. Crime Report. I'll be there on the 23rd. I'm going to be on the Justin Martin Show on, I think, this Sunday. I'm not sure when that episode's coming out. And I will be guest narrating a video by Seattle for Truth. This is all within the next couple weeks.
That's awesome. And we're busy.
We're busy, people. Be on the lookout. And with that, I bid thee get the fuck out of here.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Bye.